Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Saturday, January 28th, 2023. Back with another episode of our birthday series. Do have several birthdays to celebrate today. First one, I know I've got a couple cards of this driver. Couldn't find them because I'm sure they're buried in one of the boxes. But Jimmy Bryan, former Indy 500 driver over the years, was born on this date in 1926. Let's move forward a little bit. I've got only one of this person, not a driver, but a longtime crew chief, born on this date in 1963, Mr. Filipe Lopez. Here you see him pictured as a crew chief for the A.G. Dillard team, the Hardee's Cup car. Would have been Ward Burton, Jimmy Hensley, among others, driving that car during the 94-95 seasons. Born on this date in 2003, and we've seen this driver plenty on the channel, Mr. Carson Hocevar. Of course, this is the card that I did pull yesterday, or this morning in the Fat Pack, I should say. Of course, we've seen this, and we've seen the other tiers, but I really don't get into putting the rookie cards up front and center. I like to showcase some of the other items and other cards that these folks have. Also having birthdays today, that I don't have cards of, born on this date in 1958, former Truck Series driver Randy Renfro, former ASA driver Dave Jensen in 1954, former West Series driver Jim Robinson, born on this date in 1946. Of course, Jim had that horrible crash in the Southwest Tour in 1988 that essentially ended his career, and he would be in a coma for about 7 years, I believe, before passing away. And also another Indy 500 veteran and two-time winner, born on this date in 1977, Takuma Sato. I do have cards of the next few people on this list. Trying to find a birth date here. Born on this date. I don't have a date. And that's weird because I've got different sources that say today is his birthday, but we'll go ahead and run with it. Former NASCAR official Jimmy Cox. I've seen two websites that state today is his birthday, so this is what we're going to go with. Former NASCAR official Jimmy Cox, there you see 1992 tracks. And if you don't remember Jimmy, he was the stop-and-go man at the end of pit road. They used to have this paddle. There's a good shot at it, and he would stand in the middle of the pits with that sign. One side said stop, one side said go, and he was basically the traffic cop. There's a nice 97 Racer's Choice. Of course, they had that subset of different folks with their Harleys, and there he is with the go sign. But he would stand at the end of pit road, and he's obviously a member of the New World Order as well. But he would stand there with that stop and go sign, and it was more so for caution flags. So if the field was still catching up, he would stand out there, stop the cars as they would get to the end of pit road. Then when they would, the field would pass by, he would release the rest of the field. Now, with that being said, if you want to watch something really, really interesting, go back and watch the 1985 Northwestern Bank 400 at North Wilkesboro. Kyle Petty has an onboard camera, and he was not having it, and he was going to take off, and Jimmy actually jumps on the hood of Kyle's car, and you see that from the onboard camera, so it's quite the sight to see. Up next, born on this date in 1954, former car owner, Mr. Tim Morgan. Of course, this was the Morgan McClure number 4 Kodak team. They won 3 Daytona 500s, 1 with Irvin, 2 with Marlin. They had many, many great runs on the speedways. They did win at Darlington in 1995. I believe they've also won at Talladega. Bobby Hamilton got a win for them at Martinsville. So they did have success. Ernie Irvan was probably their most successful driver, winning at places also like Bristol and Watkins Glen and Sears Point. There you see 1993 Max here. So former co-owner of the Morgan McClure team. And then I don't want to say the biggest birthday, but the person that we got the most cards of happens to be a driver born on this date in 1958. Same exact day as Randy Renfro. How about that? Mr. David Green. So I kind of pulled cards out because I have a whole mess of David Green cards. So I try to pull the cards out that really chronicled his career. So we're going to start with 1991 here. And you see the tracks card. He did race his first season in 91 with Philmar. With this car, they did win a race. I believe it was Lanier Raceway in Georgia. The top three finishers were rookies. So it was David Green was first, Jeff Gordon was second. I'm drawing a blank on the third place finisher. But 1992, David was without a ride, and I believe he worked for the Labonte team just kind of as a general mechanic. But fortunately for David, in 1993, Bobby got called up to the Cup Series, and David got to take over this car, the number 44 car. He went winless in 1993, had several strong runs, though, won a lot of pole positions. In 1994, he did capture the Busch Series championship on the strength of one win. That win came at Bristol Motor Speedway. Me and my buddy David were at that race. And it was the race where Mark Martin pulled into the pits before the checkered flag fell, and David came by, led basically the last 150 feet of the race, and won. So there's another picture of David with his 94 Busch Series trophy. 1995, he went winless, but was called over to Buzz McCall's team in 1996 in the Busch Series to race for the Caterpillar team. There's a nice shot of the number 95 car. And I'm sure they would have taken that number to Cup, but that was owned by the Sadler brothers, so they just bumped it up by one and moved to number 96 in 1997. David ran for Rookie of the Year against Mike Skinner, Robbie Gordon, and later his brother Jeff Green, but just had a horrible season. The car was very uncompetitive. David ran that car through the midway of 97 before he was released. Then partway through 1998, he took over the 41 car for driving for Larry Hedrick. Steve Grissom was released. And we talk about it today, how Panini really recycles images. But look, you have a Press Pass branded card and a Wheels branded card. Yes, Wheels was a Press Pass brand, but you can see the exact same photo right there. So we talk about it today. This was 25 years ago. Card companies were still recycling images. So then he moves on back to the Busch Series for the C.C. Welliver. That team had a whole slew of owners. It looked like a lawyer's firm, the way that the names were on the owner sheet. Drove the 34 AFG glass car. There's another shot of the AFG glass car. Then he went to Bruco for a minute. They had a whole rotating list of sponsorships as well, including Timberwolf, a tobacco company. There's a nice look at the tobacco, or the Pontiac, the Timberwolf car. Also had Kleenex brandings, Viva, Huggies, so just all sorts of corporate logos and sponsors. David is now a NASCAR official. Got to meet him a few times down in Indies. Always cheerful with the fans. And I pulled these two cards out because in 1995 and 1996, David Green actually ran the Busch Clash as a Busch Series driver, as he won the most pulls in the Busch Series in 1994 and 1995. Again, he was kind of uncompetitive in the race, but each year he drove a car numbered to that specific year. So one year he drove a 95 car, the next year he drove a 96 car, so it really wasn't too far off of what he was already racing. So it was just kind of ironic that it was the same numbers that he had been using. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video today. Happy birthday to all the folks that are celebrating birthdays today. And we're going to continue this series. We've got a few more days here in January, so there's a few more birthdays coming up. Look forward to going through some of those cards and seeing what we have. So as always, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Come back and see us tomorrow. We will have another rip, and then we will have another birthday video. So thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we will see you tomorrow.